Well, we've had our first day of the conference here at the MSC Mission Office with our overseas directors and their helpers, and it was a very good day and a very interesting day. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office, and this is Mission Alive. One thing I take from our time today was the mission is truly alive, and it's going strongly. Uh, just a few, in a sense, random points from the day. Firstly, we had three of our people give reports yesterday: the Philippines, Indonesia, and Fiji. Not Fiji, the Pacific. It was in the Pacific. We have MSCs present in something like six different nations, and the mission office looks after all of them. Um, my first impression from them is this: these mission office directors and their helpers and their boards are becoming more mature, more experienced, and more responsible in their work. And we will help them during this time to do more of that. Uh, Now, a few points from each of them. It's not the whole report. Uh, excuse me. A few points. In the Philippines, of course, the standout there for them is the Centre for the Poor run by Father Richie Gomez. And we've talked a lot about Richie, and I hope to bring him to you with a short video. All the many things that he does there and the lives that he affects. And interestingly, there, the government has given him great support. And like a lot of places, the government sees that the Catholic Church makes things happen and are responsible. We don't waste money. And good things happen through the works that we do. And this is worth considering. The world today, where the church is suffering, and probably rightly so, but the church is doing great work. And Richie's Centre for the Poor is one of them. The other thing they do there quite well is when they have the calamities, especially the typhoons. And typhoons rip through the Philippines on a regular basis. And somebody commented once that's why a lot of the Filipino people are so resilient. They regularly get wrecked and their lives absolutely destroyed, and they keep coming back. But the mission office there, of themselves, their own initiative, do fundraising to assist with relief in the calamities. They go to all their MSC parishes, even their own families and friends, and all their contacts, and put it out generally on Facebook and wherever they can. And they and then they give firstly immediate relief, probably food, shelter, clothing, and then they follow up and see, and often they give assistance for uh, iron sheeting for houses and repair of houses. Indonesia, one of the things I learned there from them was they, in that part of the world, in Sulawesi and Manado and Kalimantan and those places, uh, scattered islands, a difficulty of travel. They have to travel by plane, which is expensive. They travel by vehicle. They travel by dinghy, and all kinds of ways to get out to people, to find people, to help people, to inspect the projects. Not easy, not easy. They have many seminarians, and the seminarians are increasing, which is a great thing. So one of the things they have to be doing is to build another building to house some of the seminarians, and they're asking us to help, not with the whole building. We can't do that unless we get a very nice bequest or something. And sometimes that happens. We get a large bequest, and then we can help with things like schools or seminary buildings. But at the moment we can't. But they're asking us to help with the water side of that building, and they'll give us details of that in due course. The other one reported yesterday was Fiji. um, Now, they too have great difficulty with distance and water, and to travel out to places, it's very expensive to go by plane. Some places they can go by dinghy or by road. They were mentioning one place where there's a project, and the only way to get there is by ferry once a month. So I'd imagine if you go by ferry and you stay overnight, then you're there for the month until the ferry comes back again. So that's the difficulty. Again, the difficulty getting water tanks out to these places, of inspecting the project. Otherwise, they simply have to rely on those people on the ground that will give reports. What was coming through with the Fijians too was a real call to educate their people to giving and donating, so that in future they could do some of these projects themselves. And this is something we are pushing from the mission office to, in many of the countries, to have them start their own fundraising schemes and do projects themselves. This would do two things. It would make it more their own, not depending on the Australian MSC Mission Office, would increase the number of projects that we can do, and would help them also to become a more self-reliant mission office, self-reliant province, self-reliant church. I'll continue to try and bring you some points from these reports, and I'll try to bring you in person some of the men that are reporting. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for being on mission. Go ahead today on your mission.